More of your calls are coming up on Sports Talk. Hit us up at 800-956-7266.
One more thing about Twitter, people. You know, I do a sports talk show. And
so do we, for the record.
Yeah, but I'm just talking solo here for a moment.
Yeah.
We know you do a sports talk show because you talk all the time.
Ooh, easy, Sally.
I finish a thought and a statement with words, okay? When I make an argument, I finish it with words. What is it with people who send you a tweet, you know, attacking or whatever, and of course they want to put you down, first of all. Nobody pays attention to you. Nobody listens. You're an ass. You're a jerk. You're whatever. I'm unfollowing you. I never listened. I don't know what you're talking about, but I saw this. And then they can't complete an argument, and they put is it a GIF?
A GIF.
A GIF. They put a GIF in there with
I love GIFs. I'm a big fan.
To finish their thoughts. And I'm like, what a weak thinker. I mean, can't you finish your own thought without relying on a GIF?
I think GIFs are humorous. Yeah, I think they add a little humor. See, that's the thing. Everyone takes everything so
I'm going to get the GIF that says you need me on that wall.
Everyone just takes everything
you
so
want
damn
me on
seriously.
That wall.
All you're saying is an opinion. Relax.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything bad about the player. We didn't say anything bad about
it's all coming
impact.
from Gamecock fans, okay? And they want their media. They feel like Clemson, the media in the upstate, I've heard a lot of this, they feel like the upstate media kisses Clemson's behind, covers for Clemson, and gives them nothing but positive coverage. They want media in Columbia that does the same thing. Now, we just happen to be located in Columbia. If we were based out of Pelzer or Newberry or Latta, Latta, what a great town.
Stop.
We wouldn't have that kind of issue because we'd be away from, you know, they tie us in with Columbia media, which we are not. And so they expect their Columbia media.
The gas bill says differently.
Well, they want their Columbia media to be in bed with the Gamecocks, all positive, nothing negative. And we're just not. That's just not our style, no matter where we're located. And so when I see something that, in my opinion, raises a question in my mind about media integrity, I'll question it, and I'll do the same thing. We've done it repeatedly on this show with upstate media. Now, I haven't seen Channel 4. I haven't seen Channel 7. I haven't seen Channel 13. On Twitter, send out something like, "Hey, Deshaun, thank you for the 3 years. It was priceless. Thank you for everything." I've never seen that come out of there. Maybe it has happened. I've never seen it. Now, now not to confuse those people with your websites, you know, that swoon all over the Clemson athletes, and the South Carolina websites do the same thing. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying is if I were to see something like that from the upstate in a station, I would say the same darn thing.
Here's the other big problem is the fact that there's been I don't want to say unprecedented, but there's been a long streak of very positive news for Clemson. There's very, very, very little negative to say about, like, the most negative thing we've said about Clemson over the last, 12 to 18 months was that they fired a women's basketball coach. The baseball team went to Omaha. The football team has 2 consecutive.
Well, they haven't been in Omaha in a long time.
The baseball team does what they do.
They've been good.
Basketball team does what they do, gets to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, first time in a while. And the Clemson football team goes to 2 consecutive playoffs and wins a championship 2 years ago and all that. So it's not like we haven't seen a big – 3 now.
Yeah.
Quit. Let me finish now for the first time. It's not like they've
had – I want you to be accurate, because if you're not accurate, you're going to be called out on Twitter.
It's not like we've had a lot of negative stuff to talk about. But there is negative stuff that we talk about on occasion. And from South Carolina's perspective, I'm sorry. The stuff that's happened around them, kind of underwhelming over the baseball team, kind of underwhelming right now. Basketball team, missed postseason. Football team, better, but lost still by 24 to Clemson in the football game this year.
You can't
we can't make up the news, man.
Yeah.
We don't make the news. We just try to tell you what's happening.
You know, I just, again, you know, I didn't ask for a battle here with the people at WIS. You know, I know Rick Henry, I know Joe Gorchow, I know a couple of the camera guys. They're great people. I didn't ask for a Twitter battle with them. Their anchor over there, Judy Gadsden, right? She jumped in last night, apparently claiming ownership of the tweet based on the way she jumped in. I didn't know who had tweeted out the thing from Channel 10, so I wasn't identifying an individual, a person over there. And she jumped in and said, I can't remember exactly what she said, but, you know, she kind of came in there with elbows flying and that sort of stuff, and little put down here or there, kind of a little condescending, like, you know, you go back to your little radio world and we'll be over here being number one at Channel 10. And,
which is petty. Petty garbage.
And do, you know, we'll be us and you be you. I think that's how she put it.
I'm surprised.
And I said, that's right. You will be you and we will be us. And then somebody else from Channel 10, and they missed the points. I wasn't talking about anything coverage wise. See, people are complaining or saying I'm complaining about coverage, and that how can you criticize a station for coverage? I'm not criticizing their coverage. They do great coverage, I guess. You know, they follow them everywhere. They did specials on them. Apparently they did a special feature on Asia Wilson and all that. Great. I'm not talking about that. What stood out to me was that singular tweet. You're exactly right. If a person had tweeted that who works over there on their personal Twitter, like you have a personal Twitter.
I do.
Yeah. I don't have one. The Sports Talk SC is my life. I had no personal Twitter. Anything that I was going to tweet out would go out over Sports Talk SC.
And sometimes I tweet on that as well.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to tweet a personal, Asia, we love you. Thank you for making us happy over here at Channel 10 and making our lives so much better and giving us all this greatness in women's basketball that we've never experienced before. Just thank you for everything, which is what they put on a tweet. And you put on your personal Twitter, I wouldn't have said boo. But when you use whoever did it, okay, because Miss Gadsden says that she didn't do it, her media team did it. So whoever did it, by using the company logo, exposes the entire news operation of Channel 10. Am I right about that or am I wrong?
The problem is they don't feel like they did anything wrong. They just decided to, you know.
That's true. They don't
feel like they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Well, you're exactly right. That's a very good point. They think that it's okay.
See, here's the thing. They feel justified. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem.
Because the other schools in the SEC have media that does the same. That's why I'm saying.
And we're saying it's all wrong.
The disease was already spread when they joined the SEC.
But here's the other problem. Not only did other schools have that, but this is what the fans want. They want their anchors to be fans. They want to see Judy wearing a Gamecock jersey in front of Williams-Brice Stadium before the home opener. That's what they want.
And I guess her bosses want the same thing.
And I usually, you know,
and I think it's wrong.
If it's wrong, I look. I got a clicker.
It's what
I can not look at it. And
it's another thing if you're like the flagship of a university and you're getting money from the university and you're putting out a lot of those things. You know, like I worked for the flagship at Mizzou. Yes, we went to Mizzou events. Yes, we put on Mizzou clothes, but we were only beholden to them. That's about it.
I got no problem with somebody who's affiliated with the school doing their Homer thing because that's what they're paid to do. I have no problem with the websites doing their Homer thing in terms of their coverage and their content. I have a problem when they go in the press box and act like a fan
and wear fan gear.
That's a bit of a problem.
The fan gear is the one that.
But as far as their coverage and what they do, and they can put all the lovey-dovey stuff about the players and talk about how. I mean, you read some of the stuff from the Clemson websites about Deshaun Watson, and you would think some of them gave birth to Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson walked on water. Did he not?
So, but I mean, they love him. They're fans. They're close to him. They get access to him because they're around him all the time, and that's how they write about him.
I think I read on CU.
It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for this show. For 34 years, we've been able to stay away from all that, and for the next 30 years, and I'm here. We'll continue to stay away from it.
I think Dabo
catch that in the next 30 years.
I think Dabo Swinney put his hand on somebody's head and cured him of cancer. Did he not? I've read that on CUTigers.com.
Careful.
I'm sorry. Did I go too far? Was that too far? That's the line.
I think
that's the line.
I think some people up there think he has that kind of power.
Well, he signed my Bible, so that means he's a great football coach. That was what somebody told me on this program earlier this year.
All right. We'll come back and get to Kelly Bryant, A.J. Turner, maybe a phone call or two. Be right back. Welcome back into your favorite sports talk show of all time in the history of mankind. Sports Talk. South Carolina Radio Network. Let's go to Hank in Columbia very quickly before we get to our favorite quarterback of all time in the history of mankind, Kelly Bryant.
Wait a minute. Don't do that.
Hank, what you got for us tonight, my brother?
Hey, Jeff. I saw all the back and forth, and even I spoke to you last night. And I guess for this whole thing, my only question was, I guess looking at it as a news outlet. And remember, I told you I didn't have a problem with it because I felt like if Rick Henry put it out, or their sports guy put it out, to me, it's that it's a kind of different. You know, it's kind of like the paper back in the day. The sports writers and all that had to be completely unbiased, but you know, they said folks in their other divisions, like the news divisions and all that, they were still, you know, they still had their fans and their bias and their teams they like. And so I guess the way I look at it is, if I thought from Rick Henry it would bother me, but it's kind of like listening to the station where I listen to y'all's sports show on. And, you know, I like your sports show. Now, that show that comes on afterwards is completely kind of slanted to one side of the political realm. But I don't. So some things they would say, and if they ventured into something that's sport, I wouldn't even pay attention to.
Well, you should hold the sports people to the same journalistic standards as the news people. So you should expect, you brought up Rick. I mean, you would expect that Rick would understand the journalism line there and not want to cross it. Just like the same with us here. That's part of the problem, is that the expectations on the sports side are being dropped so low that pretty much anything is acceptable now. Anything is good to go, and that's hard for me. I won't accept it.
But Quan, what I'm saying is, if the political show that comes on after y'all, if somehow they got into giving some comments about sports, knowing that they're not really the sports part of this station, I wouldn't really focus on it too much because that's not
consider the source.
area.
Consider the source.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So that's why I look at it with that whole station. You got some folk in there who their only thing in sports is whatever Rick does or what they look at. So their whole section is something different. So I don't look at them in the sports realm. I'd have more problem with Rick having a bias toward Clemson, Carolina, South Carolina, whoever.
Yeah.
More so than somebody that only reports the
again,
weather.
keep in mind that this thing all started, it was with the company tweets. So, you know, when I responded to it, I didn't even care who wrote it. I thought it could have come from upper management. It could have come from an IT person, a sports person. I don't know who it came from. It carried the company logo, and that's all. That was enough for me. It would be like, let's say, for example, the AP put out a tweet that said,
congratulations, Tom Brady, on your retirement.
Well, let's just say, congratulations, Donald Trump, on getting the stock market to go up 700 points today. That we're thankful for everything you're doing for us. It would be that's the equivalent on the news side. A news organization thanking a political person for doing something that they agree with, that they think is good.
There needs to be some level of detachment.
It's comparable to
MoveOn.org.
No, it's comparable to Ahmad Rashad interviewing Michael Jordan everywhere on the floor.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about somebody he had in his back pocket.
Let's get to Kelly Bryant, shall we? Kelly Bryant, after Clemson's practice today, and apparently the question was brought up about. You listened to it, you can tell us where it started. But in here somewhere, he talks about, hey, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still the quarterback.
Yeah, they had a scrimmage today, a mini scrimmage over at Clemson. All four quarterbacks got action. All four of them got touchdown passes. But as Dabo has told us, there is no quarterback controversy. Kelly Bryant's still the starter. Well, how do you think he did today?
I think I did really good, managing it. It's very, a good day for the offense. Feel like, we did, what was asked of us. We wanted to come out, play fast, have that tempo that we've been preaching all spring, and then, just managing the game, taking what's there. That was the biggest thing, that I wanted to come out here and do and try not to force anything.
Coach said that Coach was saying that there's a couple of things he did really well. All of y'all, there's a couple of things you need to work on. Anything in particular you can remember that you thought, I wish I could do that better again?
Just being a little bit more poised in the pocket. Just being ready to make plays with my feet. You know, just when things may collapse and break down. So that's one thing. I go back and look at the film, see what I could do a little bit more better at.
Are you pretty pleased with how the tempo is going right now with the offense?
Definitely. I feel like we're right on track. Still working to be better, but just seeing the quality depth that we have, at all positions, that's really been good. Pleasing to see, throughout these few weeks in spring ball.
Have you seen an improvement in Travis's pass protection, and is he kind of taking ownership of that and improving that part of his game?
Definitely. Last fall, he was still learning. Now he's still learning, but now you can see he's more confident when he's out there in the pass protection. He's making the calls. Just hearing him. When he's right to my side. Pointing out the guys he has. It's been really to see how much growth that he's made. Over the course of time.
How for you, you get these other guys behind you pushing you. For you, how do you take that? And is it fun to have you get these guys challenging you, and it makes you get better, I guess?
Oh, definitely. Everybody wants to talk about everything else that's coming in, but me, I just go back to work. I just let everybody do the talking. Everybody want to write me off, but I'm still here and I ain't going nowhere.
How important do you think it is for those younger guys, just the freshmen, just to get in this environment, even though there are no fans, as opposed to being on the practice field?
Definitely. It's very important. It's still the same, but once we come in here, in the stadium, it's we treat it like game day, and so being in an environment we have. So it's good to see everybody coming in doing their job.
Any specific goals you have before the spring game that you want to be able to share there?
Just managing. The biggest thing for me, I just look back over the season, just taking my check downs. That's something I've been just emphasizing. Just take the candy when it's right there. Just try not to force anything, and just try not to be too greedy. Because sometimes you have those guys out there, on the perimeter. You want to give them a chance, but also sometimes you have to know when to take a shot and also when to just dump it down to your back and let him do the rest. So that's the biggest thing that I've just been trying to manage within my game.
How different is life for you since this time last year when you were learning and having to go through and you had all the pressure? People are wondering if you could do it. How different has things changed since then?
I don't think anything's changed for me. It's still questions. So I'm still going back to work. Just still my confidence in myself. Just continue to work. Never getting complacent. Just trying to find ways to be better. What I was last year.
All right, Kelly Bryant, who was very good last year in his first year as a starter. We all forget that he had not done much of anything at Clemson up until last year, and I didn't think he could emerge as a big-time winning quarterback for Clemson based on what I had seen.
You had Zarek and Hunter battling it out for the starting job by week 6, didn't you?
I really did. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it.
Zarek's not even on the roster anymore.
His passing just came along incredibly well. He became – now, listen, talking to some coaches who had seen him, some in high school and some in college, they would say there's just no way this kid could master the passing game at the college level to be a winning quarterback, and he just fooled everybody.
Well, what happened is, and I have to give the coaches some credit also, Corn, because when you're following a legend, and let's face it, that's what Watson was, you had to not only deal with a guy's talent level, but you had to fashion a character for him. And let's face it, a lot of patterns that Clemson used with Deshaun Watson, they did not use with Kelly Bryant because that would have been out of character for him. But at times, not only was he great at throwing that fade pass, but also at times, even with Etienne in the game, when he got rushed out of the pocket, he was their best power back. He would be running over people.
And the thing about it is that Clemson had a complement of skill position players around Bryant to make him look better, including Kelly as a runner. I wonder how that changes next year.
All right, we'll be right back. 800-956-7266. Little A.J. Green, little Mark Kingston coming your way.
Now back to Sports Talk, South Carolina's most listened to sports talk show for more than 30 years.
A Green in the fold, but AJ Turner is not a bad substitute for the Gamecocks.
I don't think it's the same.
No, it's not. AJ Turner.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
We're going to hear from him in just a moment, and also from USC baseball coach Mark Kingston going into the series against Tennessee tomorrow night. Did you know 2.5 million children and adults suffer traumatic brain injuries every year? March is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and to learn more and to help the Brain Injury Alliance research, educate, and advocate for survivors of brain injury, you want to visit the website biaofsc.com. That's www.biaofsc.com. AJ Turner, you're over there today with the players.
I was, and it's interesting. So much is being talked about involving the up-tempo level of the way the Gamecock offense has gone, and AJ put some of that into light and also kind of laid some of the groundwork of when that actually started coming about during bowl practices, preparing for the game against Michigan.
Well, I know in practice we have like little competitions. Sometimes it's third down competitions or red zone, and whoever loses, they end up having to run gassers. So we kind of take it serious, and everybody's competitive. So everybody's going to put their best foot forward as far as practice and competing versus the defense. So we just got to continue to do that because I feel like that really helps us in game time. When we're in those situations, we've already been in those before in practice.
So the goal is to stick the defense with as many gassers as possible on Saturday?
That's the goal. So we don't have to run.
Where's the offense progressed the most since from the bowl practice till now?
I think just the system, and I feel like Coach B-Mac, he's really implementing that. We have to make plays and we have to trust the guy that's next to us. And I feel like we were doing that before, but it's even more so with B-Mac leading us as the offensive coordinator. I think he's doing a great job, and I also feel like as far as the plays are a little different. The play calls are kind of different. We're doing a good mix of run and pass, so we're not just passing the ball, we're kind of being versatile. So I feel like that's really going to be our advantage.
When was the moment that you guys found out, okay, we're going to run this offense at a particular pace? Was it at the bowl practices? Did it come in the spring? When did that moment come?
B-Mac, he said that, during the bowl game, we're going to have a fast pace. We're going to try to go fast and confuse the defense on where they're going to line up. But I feel like more so this spring, we've definitely been working on, no huddle and, just running plays fast so the defense can't line up. We can have an advantage over the defense.
What conditioning changes have you guys made to adapt to that style?
You got to be conditioned to run a no huddle or a fast offense, whether you're a lineman, any position on the field, you have to hustle to where the ball is. And, I feel like that's conditioned us, and it's done us some good as far as conditioning.
How different does Jake seem with this offense now?
I feel like Jake – I feel like he's the same, but I feel like sometimes he'll see some different stuff, or his keys will be different, or his read may be different as far as last year. Because we have a new coach, Coach Warner, so I know he's getting some great stuff from him. But as far as that, I don't really know too much about it.
That is AJ Turner, USC running back from earlier today. Again, 2 more practices for the Gamecocks today, tomorrow and Friday, and then the spring game on Saturday. Tomorrow, USC baseball opens up a 3-game set at home against Tennessee. The big question in everybody's mind, the status of Game 1 projected starter Adam Hill. Here's Mark Kingston with that answer.
Another SEC weekend. We're ready to play. We'll have a good practice today, prepare for the weekend, and get after it. So happy to answer questions.
Mark, how is Adam Hill?
As I said last night, we were cautiously optimistic. We're still officially at TBA right now, but it's looking better that he's going to have a chance to pitch for us.
If you find out maybe he can pitch later on the weekend, would it be something where you shuffle the rotation a little bit just to accommodate that, just to get him a start this weekend?
Probably not. I think if he's ready to go this week, he'll be ready to go tomorrow. The problem with shuffling guys and moving guys up is they're already on 1 day's less rest because it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. So to ask those guys that are already on 1 day's less rest to take an additional day off from what they're used to in their routine is just not something you want to do. So ideally, if he can pitch, he'll pitch on Thursday. But we still need to go through today and in the training room and through all the mechanics of making sure that he's good to go.
Touched on it a little bit last night already, but how big of an opportunity is this for some of the guys like Riley Hogan and Justin Rowe to kind of seize their opportunity with other guys?
This is their chance. This is their chance. I'm not going to pull any punches. This is their chance. When you get your opportunity, take advantage of it. That's what sports is all about. When you get your chance, take advantage. And Justin Rowe did that last night. There's no question. And other guys are getting opportunities, and it's up to them to take advantage. Because at some point, those other players will be healthy and will be back. So if you want to continue to be a part of the mix, you need to play well. You want to play more, you need to play well.
What do you notice about Tennessee?
I mean, they look to be improved from last year. Their record obviously is better. They're a team, I think, because of the previous staff being California type coaches and bringing that style. They still have mostly those types of players, so they're going to be an athletic team, and they've got some power arms on the mound. So it'll be a good matchup. It'll be 3 games. It could go either way.
How much does a game like last night kind of get you back into creating better habits, especially when it comes to timely hitting? And I know you had some breaks go your way with the 1 error early, but I think a lot of times players kind of get in bad habits with those things. How much of that have you noticed, and how much have you tried to break yourself out of that over the last couple of games?
Well, I just think the big thing is the 1-run win. I think it shows guys that it can be done. You don't have to let them go. You can turn the tide, and that's been our mindset, is try to turn the momentum, turn the tide in our favor. And at the end of the day, you have to play good baseball. And in baseball is not a sport generally where you can take just maybe luck or good fortune you got from one game and take it to the next. It's been said for a long time, momentum is your next starting pitcher. And if we have Adam Hill on the mound, that's good momentum. So last night was good for us because we did do some good things. We put some guys in motion. We had some hit and runs. I mean, we may have to do some different things just to try to spark it a little bit. So the fact that we won the game, I think that puts guys in a little bit better mindset and anxious to do it again.
That is Mark Kingston. Gamecocks again versus Tennessee tomorrow night, 7:30, 7 Friday, and then 2 o'clock Saturday. Clemson facing Boston College. They've moved that game tomorrow up till 4 because they're expecting some inclement weather in the upstate. They're going to play at 6:30 Friday and then 2 o'clock on Saturday, off Sunday. Both teams are for the Easter holiday.
Yeah, Clemson with Boston College. You look at that matchup and you think Clemson being back at home should be in
sweep city,
in a good place. Boston College is in last in the Atlantic Division. They have won 4 games. They're 4-5, but only 9-12 overall. So, yeah, Clemson should be in a good position there to get some wins. In South Carolina, with Tennessee, it's early, but they need a series win. I mean, the Gamecock fans are just about
pitchforks are out, man,
ready to abandon this team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I was out there last night. There might have been.
Cold.
It was cold. Yeah, there might have been. Well, by the time I got there, it was 5th, 6th inning, maybe pushing 7th inning. But it was still a ball game. It was still a ball game. There might have been, I don't know, maybe 100, maybe 200 people in the stands.
That's a Mizzou crowd.
Not saying that if the Gamecocks are going great, they would have had more because it was cold and it was Davidson. Though Davidson was a super regional team last year, but it's still not a draw on a Tuesday night. But this season could go south in a hurry if the Gamecocks were to not win this series against Tennessee. And then you look ahead to what's coming up for them. It doesn't get any easier because you've got to go to Kentucky. You got to go to Arkansas. So you got your next 6 league games on the road at very tough places. And then you get LSU and Vanderbilt in back-to-back.
They're driving uphill. They're driving uphill because of the fact that there's no Stokes, no TJ Hopkins, and no Campbell. They're going to need to find some offense somehow, some way.
I see no relief in this schedule until Missouri comes to Columbia.
No, there's no relief at all in the Southeastern
really?
Conference.
You had to go there? They got a guy who threw a no-hitter earlier this year, man. Woo! Come on.
Has that AD apologized yet to our coach?
No,
he's not.
Well, then he's not welcome in our state until he apologizes to our coach.
I'll let him know.
That'll do it. Have a great night.